It's Friday, Feminine Fridays. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Rubinstein here with the amazing Diane Halfman. Hi, Diane.
Hey, Laura. Welcome to the weekend. Good to be here with everyone and
Yeah,
connect.
yeah. And not a lot of people are connecting more now. They're staying home, and it's all a good thing. Um, that is bringing families together, and that's what we're about, the bringing the feminine out so we can have more loving, nurturing relationships and more powerful lives. It may seem a little bit oxymoronish, but it is not. Feminine power. We are here every week talking about the feminine, a card from the deck. This is a deck called the Feminine Power Cards, and I pulled a card today. So drum roll, please. We're going to talk about. I hinted about it in the chat in the in the description, but it's like, are you responding or reacting? Was my question. So here's the principle. As you know, the pink side has the principle, the blue side has the practice. So the principle today is, drumroll, responding requires connecting to one's feelings and sharing the truth without harming anyone.
Hmm. Well, that is so perfect with what's happening right now in the world because I would just love for everyone just to take a deep breath
Yeah.
and really, look at how you want to respond about what's happening in the world. I think there's so much fear that is being circulated right now. And we talk about standing in your power. We have choice, people. Like you get to really, have some critical thinking about what is good for you and your family. And this is business as usual of taking care of yourself, just like we do every other day. There's no
Yep.
craziness happening in the world. I mean, can we say hashtag fake news? I mean, talk about the pandemonia that's happening out in the world is just ridiculous. And I think it's time, for people to just have, really look at how you're responding and how you're connecting with other people. And, are you proud of how you're connecting with people, and human kindness and just really looking at what that is. And you can be kind and stand in your power and be healthy. These are all choices that we get to make. I mean, you'd be doing the same things to keep yourself healthy every day. It's not like all of a sudden, there's a new thing about now we should be healthy, right? Washing your hands
Hello.
and taking care of yourself are still everyday principles.
They are. You know, I've never liked being around anyone who had a cold because I never wanted to get it, you know? I have one right now, and, I'm not around anybody. I'm around people virtually, it's all good. So the, practice here is good. It's a contemplation for yourself, and, it's a question, and, um, I have a pronoun in there, but I'm gonna make it gender neutral at this point. So, how do you treat another when you're upset? So, this reaction is like about is treating your upset. So take responsibility for your upset. How do you treat others when you're upset? If you react, you may hurt them. So notice the difference between what you're thinking and feeling. How can you tell the truth without hurting the other person? So even if the other person hurt you, do you want to retaliate? And what good does that do? Does that make you feel good? It relieves tension, but does it really get you where you want to go? Right? So if you're trying to retaliate right now, if you're very reactive, take a breath, like you said, and think about what you're upset about and what can you do to improve the situation. Yeah? Don't make it worse. Because I think that's what you're talking about, Diane, is when you dive into your fear, you can make a situation worse, right?
Right, right. And
So
your voice is a very deep sense of power, right? And how are you sharing that voice and what is your message and how are you connecting with people? I mean, how people react in crisis is a really big reflection of who they are and who they get to choose and decide to be in that state. And if you're calm, you are then going to then and invite other people to be calm and have really thoughtful conversations, and it's all choice.
Right. Stand in your power. I love what you said. Stand in your power and respond, determine what's good for you. And you have choice. And the more people who, we call these practices for a reason. You may not be good at it at first. We get it. But if you're conscious, that's what we're doing here is bringing some awareness to this. Hey, you're reacting to upset, to fear, not responding to a situation. Okay. You're reacting to a feeling. So if we can take the feeling and just explore it internally to oneself versus trying to relieve it and release it on and leash it out on somebody else, that is the only way people are demonstrating in the public and the media and what we're seeing. We need to see the people who are taking stock of this and say, okay, there's a problem here. We get it. Now, what are the practical things to do? Right?
Right.
What is the ideal outcome you're looking for, and what's the logical path that doesn't hurt anyone?
Right.
You
Well,
know,
and just asking more powerful questions, right? So, start asking yourself, okay, if there are people around me that are, concerned about their health, what can I do about my own health? How can I make myself invincible in my own health? How can I, fortify my strength? What can I be doing? It's like people are locking themselves, barricading where it's like, it's probably a good idea if you actually went for a walk outside or you went to the gym or you ate better food. I mean, it's like, how can you actually make better, powerful choices so that you can actually bulletproof yourself and your own health, right? Because if you're healthy, nothing's going to take you out.
yeah, this is not like 100% chance of death, right? This is like the weaker will get, may suffer that consequence. And we want to protect as many people as we can. So let's respond to this. Think about the emergency workers. How if they reacted in fear every time, a burning building was on fire, and we'd have nobody fighting the fire. We'd just be having people pointing blame and why did you light your cigarette or why did you leave the stove on? And like the whole country's gonna go up in flames. That's
It's
not a
ridiculous.
response, that's a reaction. So,
Right.
you
And we
know
have an opportunity to be our own first responder, right? Instead
yeah.
of going like, who's going to fix this or, who's going to, make changes in the world, it's like, okay, we always talk about, making, you be the change, right?
Oh,
What can you do? If you're being a healthy person in the world, you're going to encourage other people to be a healthy person. If you're going to be a panic person, then, people are going to react to that as well. So we get to be a choice of how we respond to anything that happens each and every day. And so we're just inviting everyone to be more conscious about your responses and see how you can just make better decisions and ask better questions.
up your game, people. I think I wanna call people to be at this point, to be more, aware, more conscious, more healthy, more, gracious with each other, more generous, more loving from their heart. I think this is a time when we need a lot of love. So I'm sending out a lot of love. I'm going to take that deep dive in some more and how if I'm upset, it's like, okay, what are the feelings there? What do I really want? How can I truly bring out the best in me in a crisis situation? And again, it's a practice. The blue side is a practice. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect at first. It means conscious, being aware, apologizing when you need to, for yourself because you're committed to a certain result in life, your health, your well-being, your relationships, your harmony, your connection to others. What else do you want? What do you want, Diane?
I want people to be normal.
Just be
Like,
normal, people.
what's that new normal going to be? But it's just, I really want people to be powerful in their own right, because the more people can be calm and stand in that, like if you can be a reflection of what you want to have our culture be and what our neighbors are to be, what we want in our communities, let that be the ripple effect, because we're seeing what the fear effect is happening for people. We
Mm,
can reverse that in a second, and we forget that we're at choice.
yes, we are. We are a choice in every moment. Please make your choices from responding versus reacting. And the difference is taking ownership of the feeling you're feeling, knowing if it's coming from fear versus coming from a outcome a desired outcome. So your choice is yours. I invite you to step into the place of what is what is it that you can do to have what you want to create in the world? Take that on as a question for the weekend. You're going to be sitting with family. You're going to be making the most of it. You're going to be taking care of yourself and take care of. That's what we can do is take care of ourselves. So take care, everybody.
And absolutely. And remember, there's always a flip side. I love the acronym for fear is, face everything and rise. Right. So think of that when you start feeling fearful, is that you can look at the opposite version of that.
Face everything and rise. That's the 2020 version, or the 2020s version. We had the 1990s was forget everything, forgetting everything is all right, and then there was another one, forget everything's all right, and false evidence appearing real. That was the first one. Forgetting everything's all right is the second one, and the third decade is face everything and rise. People, you can do this.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for being here, Diane. Have a magnificent weekend of contemplation, connection, and we will be back with you next week.
All right. Bye, everyone. Be safe.
Bye. Be safe.